I read your plugs. You're going to Nashville, right?
Is that in Arizona?
No, but it's no, but it's a red state. I mean, you don't want to insult all the red states. You go there.
I go there, and I usually say, "Really, Nashville?" That's what I said.
But there are plenty of intelligent people in Nashville and in Arizona. They come out to see you.
Not plenty.
Bill Maher brought this woke idiot onto his show Real Time with Bill Maher and had to destroy them because of how ridiculous the statements coming out of their mouth was. Bill Maher, you guys know, I'm not the biggest fan of him. I think he has come around on certain topics, but he's still very much on the woke side of things. He still very much perpetuates a lot of narratives that are just very harmful to society. But in this video, because Bill Maher brings on these absolute woke lunatics onto his show, onto Real Time, he was forced to shut down the woke lunatic because of just how ridiculous, it absolutely nuts, the statements coming out of this person's mouth were. Let's get into this clip here of Bill Maher just absolutely owning this woke lunatic here on Real Time with Bill Maher.
Up to the border, will that help her close the gap with Trump in Arizona? I don't think she needs Arizona. I mean,
I don't think anyone needs Arizona. I would stay in Arizona with Putin. Here, take Arizona, leave Ukraine alone.
Fran, you're wearing cowboy boots. I mean, come on. You're even kind of showing some of the local...
and also,
They're not from Arizona.
you're going to, I read your plugs, you're going to Nashville, right?
Is that in Arizona?
No, but it's, no, but it's a red state. I mean, you don't want to insult all the red states. You go there.
I go there, and I usually say, "Really, Nashville?" That's what I said.
But there are plenty of intelligent people in Nashville and in Arizona. They come out to see you.
Not plenty. But look at their politicians.
By the way, it is, of course, this person is just like absolutely brain rotted with the woke brainwashing, of course. But like, it's kind of weird to attack Arizona of all states, you know, on Real Time with Bill Maher here. It's weird to attack Arizona when there's a lot more conservative states than Arizona. Like, why is she going so hard on Arizona in particular when I would say Florida is much more conservative than Arizona is? Like, I think Arizona's red, but like not by that much, you know? Like, if people are talking about Kamala Harris possibly being able to flip Arizona to in favor of her, you know, instead of Donald Trump, it's not that red, right? It's not like it's impossible to flip it. I think that's the case. Maybe I'm wrong, but let me know in the comments. I'm pretty sure that's the case. So it's weird to go after Arizona so hard. Like, why? That's just so strange to say that you would flip Arizona, or you would switch Arizona with Ukraine. You would trade it. And Bill Maher's about to go in on her here in a second.
Okay, look at who they elect. Okay, I'm not saying every single...
You elected Eric Adams. You just said he's a
I did not.
I know, but New York did. New York, brilliant New York.
I did not.
Okay. Do we ever learn lessons from...
Next question.
Do we ever really learn lessons from history, or are humans fated to make the same mistakes over and over again? Well, there's that famous Santayana quote about those who forget history are condemned to repeat it, and we do seem to. It's just, to me, it seems like the amount of time, the gap between when we repeat the mistake gets shorter and shorter. I mean, Trump was only president 4 years ago, and they seem to have completely have amnesia about what that was like.
No, I don't think anybody has amnesia, actually. I don't think anybody has amnesia at all. I think everybody remembers very clearly what it was like, and that's why he's able to make this comeback, because people are seeing, yeah, we were convinced, not we, but like I'm saying from their perspective, they're saying we were convinced by the woke media that Donald Trump did a horrible job. But then we saw the alternative, and we remember what Donald Trump did, and we way prefer the Donald Trump America than we do the current America. I don't think anybody has amnesia at all. I think it's the opposite. I think people remember very, very well what Donald Trump did and how the country was. And they were like, oh yeah, it could be better, right? But then we saw what they voted for. And, you know, Kamala Harris was in that presidency, in that cabinet. She was the vice president. She's very much part of that whole thing. The reason why America is where it is today. So they're like, why the hell do we want to do another 4 years of this? Yeah, Donald Trump's presidency might not have been perfect, but it was a whole lot better than this.
A few weeks. You never know. We still don't know if we're going to repeat that mistake.
Oh, we're not. I already put my marker down.
Okay, good.
Yeah, no.
Then it's a counterexample.
No, I'm not even worried about
That's
it.
good, okay.
You're not even worried about it?
No, not at all.
Really?
Yeah, no. He's definitely going to lose. I hope you're right. You just feel it. You just feel it.
I hope you're right.
No, I said it weeks ago. And now the polls are even, but the polls will be even on election day. I promise you. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it. I don't think about it. Just don't think about it.
What do you think about it?
And then even if he does win, well, you wouldn't have gone through all that stress.
It's a better way.
If you enjoy content like this, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
What do you make of comparisons between the Roman Empire and the U.S.? Are we a society on the brink of decline? Well.
Better food in the Roman Empire.
How do we know that? How do we know what they ate?
We know what they ate.
What, how do we know?
I'm going to give you a book. That
Food of the Roman Empire?
it's the everything of the Roman Empire.
Yeah, I've read books on the Roman Empire. I love
one book I'm going to read.
One book? Really? Okay. And okay, so what did they eat? Oh, I mean, I think all through history, food was more pure than the shit we eat now, of course.
Pasta.
This lady swears she's funny. I don't think she's funny at all. But yeah, I just, what do you guys think? Do you think it's done and dusted that Kamala Harris will win this next election? Bill Maher seems to be so confident that she will win the election. I think it's 50-50. I'm 50-50 on it. I think that more people will vote for Donald Trump than last time, and I think that he'll do enough to win. But we thought that for the last one, so it makes me question, number one, I was overconfident last time. Don't want to be overconfident this time. Number two, is there going to be foul play that makes Donald Trump not able to win? Who knows? Who knows if that's going to be the case? It's something to consider for sure. But also, he makes a decent point there where it's like, the reason it doesn't really matter too much to me personally if Kamala Harris wins. Like, I'm going to be fine regardless of who's the president. But it will matter for the overall state of the globe. Because ever since Joe Biden won the presidency, ever since Donald Trump lost and Joe Biden took office, the candidate that Bill Maher voted for and all these woke idiots on Bill Maher's show here voted for, the globe has gone into turmoil. Like, there's wars breaking out everywhere. There's the massive ones, there's the major ones, but there's also a lot of smaller wars breaking out everywhere. And the United States has its hands in a lot of these things. And our tax dollars are going to these places. And I'm kind of tired of that. I'm kind of fed up with that. So I would hope that maybe, just maybe, Donald Trump will come in and at least use our tax dollars for something a little bit more beneficial for the actual American people. So like I said, I'll be fine personally. I don't give, I do care, but it's not for my personal life. My life is not going to change either way. I'm more focused on like the overall future of the country and the future of the planet, because it does matter who the president is of the United States, the most powerful country in the world currently, as it stands now. Might not last for too much longer, depending on who wins this next presidency. It does matter.
You think the ancient Romans had pasta?
Yeah.
I thought it was invented in China.
It was. But then they sent it to Italy. They invented pasta in China, but
there was no connection between China and the Roman Empire. The Roman. What?
No, I'm waiting for Yuval. Yuval wrote the book on this. We have the guy.
Really, I mean,
who wrote the book. So
the Roman Empire fell in the 5th century, or some would say the 4th AD. I don't think there was connection. Marco Polo was the first person.
I'm just suggesting we should do some research.
There was connection, but I don't think that this is the main issue.
It's definitely not the main issue.
I think, again, it's important to understand the differences between different historical periods and not just to make these analogies. If you think, for instance, about the collapse of the Roman Republic, which is perhaps more pertinent to what the situation now is in the United States.
Yes.
What we should understand is that in the ancient world, it was simply impossible to maintain a large-scale democracy, because it was impossible to maintain a large-scale conversation. Democracy is basically conversation. Dictatorship is one person dictating everything. Democracy is lots of people trying to talk with each other, reach decisions. Now, the only examples we have of democracies in the ancient world are city-states like the Roman Republic or Athens. Or small tribes, because you simply had no information technology to hold a conversation between millions of people spread over a vast territory. So you don't have any example of a large-scale democracy before the late modern age. Only then you have the information technology, first newspapers, then telegraph, radio, television, that can maintain a large-scale conversation. And again, the crucial question now is whether the new information technologies that we are just inventing, like social media and AI, might destroy democracy. I mean, because democracy is built on top of information technology. So if you have a major upheaval in information technology, there is an earthquake in democracy, which is what we are feeling right now.
And
He was going to say,
Dude, oh my God. What the hell is this guy talking about? If the only way that democracy is upheaved by information technology, by social media, is if the social media platforms start centering one side of the aisle and don't let them speak, which they were doing. But the crazy part is they think it's the opposite. They think platforms like Twitter or X, they are the threat to democracy. They think people like Donald Trump are the threat to democracy, when in reality, it's the other way around. You know, it's really the platforms, you know, I'm not going to name them, but you know what they are. The platforms that censor certain speech, that censor certain sides of the aisle from talking. Those are the threats to democracy. That's the only way that social media and information technology can threaten democracy, is if censorship happens out of it. If one side is able to spread all the propaganda and all the information that they want, whether it's misinformation or not, and the other side can't spread anything. And that's what was happening. And that's the route that we were going down until Elon bought X. I'm not the biggest Elon Musk fan. I think, you know, you guys probably know my thoughts on Elon, but there's no doubt about it that he definitely turned the tide in a new direction, because it was going down a very bad path. And we saw that come out with the Twitter files and the things that Zuckerberg has been saying recently and stuff. You know, it was going down a really bad path for America and for democracy. So it's crazy how people like Bill Maher and this guy, the other guy on Real Time, I don't know his name, but the other guy here on Real Time with Bill Maher, who was saying that the threat to democracy is social media platforms, and he probably thinks it's like X. He probably thinks Elon Musk and Donald Trump are the threats to democracy. It's just so crazy, the disconnect, man. It's such a black pill. Let me know in the comments what you think about Bill Maher having this woke, really stupid person, Fran Lebowitz. I don't even know who this is, but the idiot that said she would trade Arizona for Ukraine. Just wild. I don't get it. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think about Bill Maher having to shut down that woke lunatic. It's always bad whenever Bill Maher has to shut down somebody for being too woke. Let me know in the comments what you think about this whole Real Time with Bill Maher situation.